Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Dalton. This is Armson Farms, the Footlong Farmer YouTube channel. Today, we will continue a project from yesterday that you guys didn't see. A little bit nippy outside. We are digging sand out of our upper lagoon. I'll show you kind of what we got going on here. For now, we're just using our old excavator. Just getting what we can reach with that. Once we get all the way around the outside, we will figure that out. You can see we started up in that corner yesterday and worked our way around to here. He's gonna load the slinger one more time. It's getting kind of sloppy. This sloppier stuff leaks out of that tube line. So he's gonna move to where I'm standing next, and we're gonna start digging along here. We're gonna go along there, and from there we'll decide either get the long arm excavator rented, get that in here, which I don't think that'll be big enough to still reach the middle. I'm not sure. Or we also talked about dropping a skid steer down in and pushing it over to the edge where this excavator will be able to reach it. Part of the issue here, generally when we dig sand, it's a lot more sandier than this. This is actually quite a bit manure, really. These end two bays here are dry cows. This is our dry cow pen. That manure is so much drier that we just can't pump it. And we don't own a boat and can't get it agitated up well enough. Also, this is going on 24 months worth of buildup. So 7 foot over 2 years is not the end of the world. I know you non-sand guys are gonna think that's insane, and it is, don't get me wrong. Cleaning sand slash solids is kind of miserable. I'm gonna open these up so when he comes over here, he doesn't have to worry about these being in his way. It is just kind of a brisk morning. So, yeah, getting right after it. It's one of the annual tasks that has to get done. We put it in that big field right out back. So, I know I had mentioned this leaking. There's a rubber piece, a rubber flap down in there. Can't really see it very well, but I just replaced it, but it's not really strong enough rubber. You can see it just bolts on there. When it gets a lot of weight behind it, it still flips forward and leaks. I think what I might do, we've got some old rubber gable belting out of the parlor up in the woods. I might cut a piece that comes clear up to here and goes down right to the floor, and I'll bolt it a whole bunch on this front plate here. That stuff is like close to an inch thick, maybe it is an inch thick, and it's got wire in it, much heavier stuff. I think I might try putting a piece of that on this winter to help this thing seal up a little bit. But yeah, get in the tractor and stay warm and let's get to work. Kind of making a mess of the tractors. It's a little sloppy, but we're not making ruts in the field. We're staying on top. It's just with the rain and stuff on top, it's sloppy, but I don't know. You can clean tractors, you can clean windows, you can clean spreaders. You can't wait for perfect conditions to do everything, that's for sure. Looks like we got a good week next week. It would be nice if this sand was pretty well wrapped up by next week and I could start moving liquid out of our other lagoon so we can eventually get all the sand out of that one. But the old link belt 3400, it's an old dinosaur. I don't know the year of it, but it's got, I can't remember what kind of motor, some kind of Japanese or something like that. A Zuzu motor, something like that. Always starts, always runs. lot of slop and play and all the bushings and all of that, but you pump some grease in and you check the fluids. I don't think I've ever had to put engine oil in that thing one time. It's just a good old machine. Slow, but a good machine. And we own it. It doesn't owe us anything, doesn't cost anything, so gets the job done. Well, I'm in the excavator now. It's been kind of a disaster, but he went over there for a while, but he can't really reach over the gates. I don't know if this excavator would lift a skid steer down in there or not. I would be curious, but for now, I'm going to keep digging what I can. Just putting it in the slinger. It's too sloppy for that tube line, so we'll just keep moving it here. All right, guys, it is the next day now. Where it's done is we're going to get digging sand out of that upper lagoon. Yesterday, I set this truck up, opened the pump up, and we flushed all the sand out of it. It wasn't the worst it's ever been, but certainly was starting to build up, and I figured while I had a spare minute, it didn't take overly long. Set it up. I just use a trash pump out of this pond, stick it in the front, and let it flush it out. Bring a skid loader over and clean up the sand out of the driveway. Pretty simple. Looks like this gasket's got some. Is that cow hair? I think it's hair. It's kind of gross, but anyways, we're gonna get her all patched back up now. Shut her down. Out the sand's all out of here. Seal the pump up. I brought the grease gun over. We'll grease all these swivels as well. There's one, well, there's two hoses that go up to there that are right there. And then there's a fitting there. There's a fitting there. And there's also a fitting up on that valve that I'd like to climb up there and get. The undercarriage got greased like less than 24 hours use ago. So undercarriage on both the truck and trailer should be good. But I think we're gonna go at it pretty hard next week. Try to get the big lagoon empty, and then we can start digging sand out of that. That should be a much more enjoyable experience because we got the ramp down in there. We'll see how that all works out. There's definitely gonna be a lot more sand because it's where most of our manure goes to. But we're gonna dive right into getting the liquid moved first. So yeah, get this whole girl greased up, ready to rock. The hinges on this thing's a little wore out, but she gets the job done. I'll level with you guys. What just happened right there was, yeah, I had my phone set in these handles here, taping, and it fell right into that. In fact, that mark right there was from my phone, so now my phone smells like butthole, and my wife's probably not gonna let me have it in the house because it smells absolutely terrible. So not a good start to the filming today, I'll be honest with you. She's all sealed up in the back. I'm gonna climb up on top, pull that hose out of there, make sure the top caps are shut. That manure stinks too. Like, I just tossed the hose down. I just had it stuck in this front compartment. There's a little bit of a slope where we're parked here. Put the hose in the front, it flushes it right out nice. Whew. Get my tools off of here and take this down and park it by the pump. I think we'll be ready to rock. All right, we got the old Eagle down by the lagoon, ready to rock. Get my grease gun out of here. Down here to the heifer barn, there's a grain cart that needs the wheels greased. One of them things that's been on my list for quite a while. Got the grease gun, might as well. Got the 8330 on the pump. You can see we're a little over half full again. 4840 over here on the bale grinder. It is nice to finally not have dirt being moved and stone and concrete poured and construction stuff all over. Other than that wheelbarrow, I don't know what the deal with that is, but it's got about 2 more days before it becomes one of our wheelbarrows, I think. We'll go and get this cart greased up. Big hell yeah there. That one doesn't have a grease fitting on the wheel bearing. This one did. I got that one done. Alright, I got her all greased up. I'm going to bring the service truck down and air them up too. A couple of them are kind of soft. Give the old grain cart a little tune up here. Alright, got that cart suited up. Next order of business. We're in here in our manure pump room with our patz auger. We got a grease bank, and one of the doodads here came unscrewed from the bearing, so gonna get this unscrewed from the hose, threaded back in. It goes in down in that slot there. Get that suited back up so we can keep this thing greased. Can do a little update on this patz auger, by the way. We've had it in year and a half now, something like that. Just runs through the middle of our barn, so our alley scrapers scrape into a pit. The auger brings it into here, and then there's a piston pump on the other side of that wall right there. That pipe down there goes into the piston pump, which sends it over to the lagoon. So what used to be here, we had our old Hool gutter cleaner system, the chain link, you know, deal. And that we had to take a link out every week, and we were having issues a lot with that. Not to mention it was wearing out the floor. So we bought one of these patz augers. We were a little concerned, but what a difference. We've had 3 breakdowns the whole year. 2 of which could have easily been prevented. The guys, so this pump, our piston pump, is not on a timer. You have to manually turn it on when you turn the auger on. And the guys got in the habit of letting this pit fill up before they turn the pump on. And what happened is it would get so full that this bottom sprocket of this auger was running in the sandy manure. And it would pack the gears right tight full, like concrete, of sand and manure, which would make that chain slip. So I did have one issue of it, the keyway popped out, so I got a new keyway. And the other issue was when that happened, it was hopping so much. This auger is suspended through the pit with brackets. There's brackets down in there. It's suspended about 6 inches off the ground. And when that got to hopping, the whole unit hopped so much, it snapped one of the brackets off. And when that bracket fell down, it was too much weight going across, and it ended up cracking one of the auger pieces. We re-welded it. Happened again. That's when we realized that the bracket was broken. So again, all the issues that we've had with it were literally self-inflicted because we didn't pump this out too much. While this is pumped out, we've had 0 issues with it freezing. You can have the pit filled right clear up to the grates. The auger starts, never has an issue with that. It's been really, really great. Like I said, going from a weekly maintenance thing to basically don't have to worry about it. You just kick this. And it just brings the manure over, puts it in the pit, hit the switch. That fires up our piston pump. This is the motor, and the hoses run over to power it, and it sends it over. It's a very, 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 very simple setup. So just a little review on that. We've really, really liked this. It's been basically problem-free. That's better. Much better. All right, next thing, I got a couple gates I got to repair in the barn down here. They work, they're just not great. So we're gonna tack them up, weld them up. But first I gotta get this group of cows out of the way. They're just getting ready to push them to the parlor, so I figured I'd give them a hand pushing this group. Then they'll be out of my hair when I'm trying to do it. So push the ladies to the parlor. Here we go, ladies. Come on now. Here we go. Come on now, girls. Come on, you guys too. Nice legacy cow. Alright, so I've been pretty busy. I'll be honest with you, a lot of these gates need to just be jumped. This is one of them. Cows have tried jumping over it enough times. Everything's rotted out. Not really enough stuff there to fill. So I robbed this gate from over there. That never really does anything, although I think I've got a gate that'll fit there. I'll just need to adjust the hinges that it mounts on. But that one would not fit over here, because this one needs the wide spread. So this gate worked good for here. That gate's, like I said, total. She's toast. This gate over here has been miserable for quite some time. Like I say, it's pretty well rotted, but what I did, I took a neck rail clamp. Not a neck rail clamp, it's the clamps that from right there where the stall bolts to the channel iron. I took one of them, drilled a hole in it, and used it as a washer, so it's kind of like a sleeve for the gate. I put new pins on these, so now that gate's back solid and level and latches where it's supposed to. So that's good. I leveled off a lot of these gates down through here. These gates you can adjust by going in and out on these pins, top and bottom, to level them. Because it's not a big deal, but if the gates hang down, so when they come to latch, they're down here and you got to lift up. It's not a big deal, but like when you're moving cows or trying to sort cows by yourself, it is just a headache. So it is nice. It's one of those things, you just spend the time to do it a couple times a year, go around, level everything off, and it works. But this winter, I wouldn't mind getting some material and building some gates, because you see they're getting pretty, most of these gates are originals. So, 15-year-old gates. They've done their job. It's time to put these babies to bed. So yeah, gonna put a chain on this gate and about wrap up the day, honestly. Got our first trick-or-treating going on tonight down at the school, a trunk or treat. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys, or the last few days video. Sand, headache, as always. Cows like it, I don't, is what it is. Gates, getting there. Lots of repairs throughout the winter that we got to do. A lot of stalls are starting to, there's a few busted stalls, neck rail that needs to be straightened out, brisket boards need to be done, things along that nature. Winter projects. So we're going to start just slowly getting into that. The pressure washer has been running nonstop since we stopped corn. Chopper, packing tractors, trucks, things like that. Still a lot more to wash. And then obviously we're going to be getting into servicing, filters, greasing, winterizing, and putting away for winter, all to come. So yeah, keep following along, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to tell your neighbors, people you like, people you don't like, family, old people, young people, whoever the hell. I don't care. Tell them about the Goofy Dairy Farmer on YouTube. We'll see you guys in the next one.